Now, this is something that I've been pretty open about hating, but I really hate exclusives and the whole idea of games being exclusive. Now, I want to make something perfectly clear right now. I do not hate the games that are made that end up being exclusives. Like, I don't hate a game like Halo because it's exclusive, but I hate the fact that they are exclusive to only one console. And like this really happened the more and more I grew up. And one of the biggest arguments that people and really mostly fanboys like to use are the sales. Like all the sales and the amount of money a game makes. However, the thing is, people always want to talk about how much a game sold, and it sold this much and all that, even on one console. But imagine how much that game would make if it was on everything. Like imagine how much money a company like 343 could make with Halo if it was on PlayStation, Switch, or Santa Monica if I got the name right, the company that made God of War, or Nintendo. Imagine how much more money they could make if it was on everything. If Halo was on PlayStation, God of War was on Switch, and Zelda on Xbox. Now, the reason that I wanted to make this video and really not just talk about why I hate exclusives, but was really what made me really go and make this video was the announcement of the Demon's Souls remake that was announced, I think, a few weeks ago or a few days ago. I don't remember. Now, I haven't ever played Demon's Souls because I got into FromSoft by Dark Souls, the original Dark Souls, which Dark Souls has become my... Honestly, I'm gonna make a video about this, but Dark Souls has become my favorite franchise, even surpassing Halo, and that's not because I hate Halo now. I still love Halo, but Dark Souls has just become my favorite franchise now. And Dark Souls 3 being my favorite game, really. Like Dark Souls 3 really being my favorite game, even above Halo 3. Again, I'll make a whole video talking about why that is, like why Dark Souls has gone above Halo. Like, I love all the Dark Souls games, and I really love Bloodborne. However, something I don't like about Bloodborne, and it's really my biggest problem with the game, and this is the problem that I already am having with the Demon's Souls remake. It's the fact that it's exclusive to PlayStation. Demon's Souls is going to be exclusive to the PlayStation 5, and Bloodborne is exclusive to PlayStation 4. Now, I can already hear the fanboys being like, well, yeah, that's your fault for not having a PlayStation. But the thing is, I do have a PlayStation. Now, the reason why this is a problem for me is the same reason Demon's Souls being a problem, being exclusive, is the same problem why Bloodborne is a problem for me, is that it's on our PlayStation. The thing is, I mostly play Xbox. I prefer Xbox, I mostly play Xbox, and really 99.97%, I'm most likely just playing Xbox, and then a little bit, and then that little percentage I'm playing Nintendo or Switch, like Nintendo or PlayStation. I mean, and so I can't play Bloodborne on my favorite platform, and yeah, I can only see people say, "Well, go buy a PlayStation." Well, I do have one. I do have a PlayStation already, but I want you to take a guess right now. When do you think the last time I actually played the PlayStation? When do you think I actually last touched the PlayStation? I feel like some people might be like, okay, well, maybe 4 days or a week maybe. And probably the highest I feel like people would guess is, well, 2 weeks. Like, it has to be 2 weeks since you last played. It's actually been more like months, and probably exactly 5 months since I last touched the PlayStation 4. Now, I do not hate the PS4, but the PlayStation 4 only got it for the exclusive. I don't play anything else on it, and even then, I very rarely play it. When I played through The Last of Us or Uncharted or 1886, it took me longer to get through those games because I don't play PlayStation as often as I do Xbox. That's just because I love Xbox more. So this is a problem for me because even though I love Bloodborne and the PS4, I very rarely touch it. I very rarely touch it or play it, and I only get it for exclusives instead of getting it because I actually want it. And the thing is, let's say Bloodborne was on Xbox. I can easily see myself playing it so much. I can easily see myself playing it over and over and over again if it was on Xbox. And not because it's on Xbox. It's because Xbox is my go-to. Like, it's my go-to. I think, you know what, I want to play a video game, I go to the Xbox. So, I feel like you should see the problem by now. Because even though I can just buy a PlayStation 5, I can go buy it, just buy the games for it. I would very rarely play it. And it would just get dust. Like, that's what the PlayStation is doing. It's getting dust because the only thing I bought on it is the exclusives, and I'm not going to play those all the time. I very rarely play it anyway. And going back to the argument that people and like fanboys like to use, is that companies are just out to get money. Then let me ask you, wouldn't it be better if the games were on everything? The best example I can actually think of is Minecraft. Because Minecraft is owned by Microsoft. They own the IP, they own Minecraft. But you can play it everywhere. You can play it on everything. You can play it on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, or PC. You can play on everything. And look how much is sold and how many fans Minecraft has. Now imagine if Bloodborne made that much, or Horizon Zero Dawn, or Halo, or Sea of Thieves. Thing is, everyone brings up the numbers sold, and it's like, well, this sold that much. Well, imagine how much more money it could make if it was on everything. And the thing is, you buy, let's say, the thing is, you can buy Minecraft on it and on a different platform, but Microsoft still get the money. You go and buy Minecraft on the PlayStation. Now, Sony's still going to get the money because you bought it on PlayStation, but Microsoft will still get some of that money because they own the IP. And now something especially fanboys always say is, and I feel like you know what I'm talking about, they say, well, no one wants Xbox games on PlayStation, so like, why would we want every game on everything? We don't want those Xbox games on PlayStation. And I really just have to ask, are you sure about that? Like, I don't know if fanboys think they speak for everyone in the community, because I don't know how many PlayStation fans I've seen who have asked for Halo on PlayStation, or how many people I've seen asking for a game like Sea of Thieves to come to PlayStation, even though the fanboys say that everyone hates that game and that game sucks. I've seen PlayStation fans asking for these games over and over again, especially Sea of Thieves. But fanboys act like, no, we don't want them. And the thing is, this also applies to the Xbox fanboys. I'm not just dishing on PlayStation fanboys. It also applies to Xbox fanboys. Because the many times I see them say, like, we don't want the PlayStation game on Xbox. Keep those games. Keep your one and done games. But then I see people asking for those games, or games like Spider-Man to come on Xbox. Or people make something like, hey, like, rumor Halo's coming to PlayStation, or rumor God of War is coming to Xbox. It's like, why would you make that other than the fact that you wanted to? And also I know people make it to upset fanboys, but like, you make that because you want to get the game on the console that they prefer. And you see how similar things are with the fanboys saying no one wants the game, but you see actual fans, you see people who play these things, play PlayStation or Xbox, they want those games on the console they prefer. So again, if the whole point of a business is to make money, then wouldn't it make more sense, it'd be better to have the game on everything, so that way it gets as much people and as much money as possible. Because to me, closing your game off to only one group, to basically cut off a large amount of money just to put on one platform, that's a bad idea. That's not a good idea. Even looking at it from a business perspective, that just doesn't seem like a good idea. It's like, hey, we have two options. A, put it on one console so only one group of gamers can love this game, or put it on everything so that way everyone can play it. Let's put it on only one platform to, like, yeah, we can make a lot of money, but we don't need the money from like the other group of gamers. And it's just weird because like, you cut off a large part of like money and a large amount of players and fans who could get into your game because you wanted to make it exclusive. Like, come on. Also, I would say right now, one of the worst and dumbest arguments I've ever heard people who defend exclusives is, well, these games wouldn't exist without games being exclusive. And that is so dumb. I say this because people, like creators or developers, just people create stuff because not only because they want to make a profit, because they want to make money, but because they want to create their own world and story. I am positive there's not one creator or developer out there who created a game or story or whatever because it was going to be exclusive. I would bet that the people creating whatever it is, they are wanting to create it because they want to create their own stuff. For example, I'm positive that when Bungie created Combat Evolve, I'm positive that everyone in Bungie, they knew what they wanted Halo to be. They knew what, even before they started working on Halo, they knew what they wanted. They knew what they wanted Halo to be, what they wanted Halo to look like, what they wanted the story to be, before they even started making the game. Before Microsoft even made it a exclusive to Xbox. Creators, developers, they create things because they want to tell a story, create their own world, create something that's theirs. Not that way. And they don't create something because, oh, it can be exclusive. Like, no. I honestly feel like they create it and then the company's like, hey, why about you make this an exclusive? We'll send you this amount of money. Which, again, brings up, if the whole thing is making money, why not put it on everything? Like, why not put it on everything so that way you get even more money? And now, I don't, people will be like, what? Well, then there'll be some games out there that people don't know about. Let me ask you, how many games are out there that are exclusive that people just don't know about? They are underrated, even though they are exclusive. I can think of 3 on top of my head. Sea of Thieves, We Happy Few, and Order 1886. So, those games are... Well, scratch We Happy Few. Sea of Thieves, Order 86, and Rise of Rome. Those 3 games are exclusives, and those are very, very underrated. So being exclusive doesn't do anything. It doesn't make your game more popular. Thing is, games get popular because people pay attention, people talk about it, or they're good. Now look, I'm not saying that companies cannot own other companies. Like how Microsoft owns 343 and Rare and now Compulsion Games, while PlayStation owns Naughty Dog, Santa Monica, and Insomniac. But again, look at Minecraft. Microsoft owns the company that makes Minecraft. And Minecraft is the best-selling game ever. So much people play it. So many people can have bought it. People still buy it to this day. Excuse me. People still buy it to this day. But the company that owns the IP is getting money. Microsoft's still getting the money. Even if you buy it on the PlayStation, Microsoft still gets that money. I feel like that would be the better option for, like, let's say someone buy God of War on the Xbox, Santa Monica goes and gets that money. Like, Microsoft gonna get some of that money because it's on Xbox, but Santa Monica also gets the money as well. Like, it really doesn't make any sense to me to only put one game on one console. And the thing is, as a consumer who buys and plays these video games, I would love to have every game on every console. Be able to play the games I like, where I want, and when I want. I know many people, like, they use exclusives to verify their purchase of a console. It's like, well, I bought this and because of this and all that. That's verified. But for me, games in general do that. It doesn't matter if it's a exclusive game or a multi-platform game. The thing is, I could go and buy a Xbox One or the Xbox Series X or buy a PlayStation. And let's say the only two games I have on there are BioShock, or like the BioShock collection, and LA Noire. I would be I would be pretty satisfied with my purchase, and my purchase would feel very verified. Like, I don't need exclusives to be like, yep, this is why I got it. Like, no. I've never, like, especially as growing up, I've never felt like that. Because games in general are always what verify my purchase. It doesn't have to be exclusive on anything. It just has to be a game. Also, to close this video off, because I feel like people will say it, the rebuttal that people always like to use whenever I hear someone say, get rid of exclusives, they always use the rebuttal of, well, that's like me going to McDonald's and wanting to get going to Burger King wanting to get a Big Mac at Burger King. That's pretty dumb. Like, that's a pretty dumb argument and rebuttal, because they are comparing games being exclusive to food that you can get at restaurants. The thing is, McDonald's and Burger King, yes, they make the same thing. They make burgers, but they make them differently. That's why they taste different. The same thing is with every restaurant. That's why some Mexican restaurants taste better than others. That's why some Chinese restaurants taste better than others. Yes, they make the same food, but the way they make it, the ingredients that they use, and the way they make it is different. That's why, like, for example, that's why that's why their burgers taste completely different to McDonald's or Burger King. That's why, in my opinion, Wendy's is so much better than them, because the way they make the same thing, but the way they make their burgers is completely different. And using the argument of, well, that's like me asking for a Big Mac at Burger King is pointless, because the way Burger King makes their food is completely different to how McDonald's make it, and that's why I don't like Burger King. Because to me, the way Burger King makes their food is disgusting. And that's why, and their food just doesn't taste good because the way they make it. Where Wendy's, the way they make their food is so good, and that's why Wendy's is my favorite fast food place. Not because, like, the fact that, oh, I can only get a Baconator here. It's like, no, it's the way they make their food. So using that argument of, it's kind of dumb, because, like, games, they're not different. Really, like, anytime people ask for something new, gameplay wise, everything is the same. Every third person game is the same. Every first person shooter game is the same. That's why people made fun of any time a game was a first person shooter, because they all play the same. The things different and what's new is what added. Is the world, the story, the lore, everything but the gameplay. Like, we'll probably make a video talk about this too, but, like, to me, gameplay wise, there's really nothing new and nothing changes. Everything's the same when it comes to gameplay wise. But what's different and what's new is what they create, the story they create, the characters, the world, the lore, everything else other than the gameplay. And that's the thing with video games. It's like, video games are basically the exact same thing other than the world, the lore, the setting, or something like food. No, something like food. Burger King makes their food differently. Wendy's make their food differently. IHOP, Cracker Barrel, they make their food differently. Like, that's why Cracker Barrel pancakes taste differently than IHOP pancakes. So use the whole argument of, trying to compare the food that you can only buy at certain restaurants. Like, try to compare, like, a Big Mac burger to a Whopper and be like, why can't I get a Big Mac Burger King? It's like, because they make them differently. That's why. But I just want exclusives gone. I just want to play whatever game I want on the platform on the console that I have. And to me, there's there's not like the company's gonna make less money. The thing is, all those arguments that people have about power, about which one's stronger, Xbox or PlayStation. Xbox has this, PlayStation has this. The thing is, it would at least make somewhat more sense. If every game was on everything, like, it would at least make somewhat more sense. And like, I think some people think that people asking this is like, oh, like they just want one console. No. Thing is, every phone, they do the same thing, but they are all different in sense of power. So that's why people buy different brands of phone. That's why some people have iPhones. That's why I have an Android, because they're all the same, but there's some things about them that makes them different. So if every game was on everything, then the arguments about how Xbox is more powerful, PlayStation is more powerful, it would at least make a little bit more sense. Like, it wouldn't just be dumb for people to be arguing about it. It would still be dumb, but it would at least make a little bit of sense.